Okay, guys, we return to discuss the stock markets coming up for this week. We will be discussing some of our current holdings as well as some of the biggest top gainers for the last week and what to expect from these top gainers that have exploded up a few hundreds of percents. Keep in mind that in the last trading day, we did have the markets come up for a decent bull run, adding to the bullishness of some things. Even Nvidia is now taking a lead back onto the top of the most active list. If Nvidia has the power to continue to push up, Nvidia is a major player. It can drag indices up along with it. So we'll be watching Nvidia as it remains at the top of your most active list and seeing how it fluctuates later on in the week. Currently, right now, if you have been holding in on our crypto trades from the top, we are still in on the BTC shorts. Got in at about 122,000. Currently at this time, our BTC shorts are now up about 3,000%. Okay, we do have a bit of a reversal starting to come in, just a smidge, as they're hitting back towards a resistance one of 87,000, looking to see almost any piece of news to come in. Almost any update can come in that will be bearish enough to make the markets crack and go down for another level. They've done very good at pushing BTC and ETFs all the way up to the top. It's been over pushed, which is why this massive crash has come in. I'll show you greater in detail, showing you back on your overall monthly chart the flow of the market and or the stocks going from oversold, where you do want to buy, with its next round of bullish divergence going back up towards overbought, where we will get our short positions. And once it becomes overbought, you got to understand you make money going both ways. They are making an insane amount of money betting things go down, and they time those correctly. Notice the flow of when they were overbought. Starts to get shaky and choppy, comes in for his next round of bearish divergence, pushes back down towards key levels. I can show you these key levels in greater detail, as right now we're hitting a pivot point one. It needs to break past this. I'm hoping that it doesn't break past this, so our crypto shorts can continue to come in for further decline, further gains, of course, on our BTC and ETH that we are sitting our original entry in on BTC. I do alert these in my section, of course, for everyone to be able to follow along in. When you join in on Banking with Billy, you'll be looking towards your Billy Banks alert section. You can check out the other coaches in there putting out their things as well. Many different sections to follow along in. Our BTC entries, for anyone who was looking back for the original entry, was over a month ago. We would get in at 122,000, along with ETH at about 4,500 or higher, and TRX at 33 cents or higher as well. Showing you BTC from that original entry. They're a massive pullback, and again, you're going from overbought back down to oversold. It's the same setup and the same strategy every single trade. Nothing has ever changed, no matter what the conditions of the market are. You're just riding that wave from overbought back down to oversold. To get these mass gains, this does come down to timing and patience and overall conviction. You can't be scared to hold in. If you're scared to hold in, then you're not going to be able to get that 3,000% gainer there. And for my alerts, I do update them along the way. You'll be able to see when it's up 100%, you're up 200%, you're up 300%. I never stop the updates until it's time to exit that trade. You'll be able to ride that flow the whole way, up 400%, up 800%. So you know what I have going on all the way to the peak. And no matter what, you'll always see me remind you to come in and have your stop loss set in case it's going to pull back too far. Your stop loss is going to come down to personal trading styles as well. Along with those massive gainers, we are about to still hold in on these crypto shorts and then catch the next move, which is going to be some quick long positions we're going to be doing right after this video. If you are newer to trading, then you can always join us in our live trading classroom. You'll catch me in there sometimes throughout the days, usually in the morning time. I'm giving the live trading lessons and the classes and all the good stuff like that. Everyone is welcome. So let's take a peek at some of the different crypto news that's been coming in lately, as they're scrambling to stop this massive sell-off that's in here. Let me show you this. This is a key level right here. If this breaks under this 80,000, you know what's going to be the next big. In fact, here I'll show you. Check this out. I can literally I'll go down to a daily chart. Look, it's already tested support level 3, which you would think is the bottom. Go back down to a monthly chart, right? This is literally only testing the pivot line, the main point. If it's to break down this, your next big stop down is like 50,000. I wouldn't assume it's going to go lower than that. But if it is to break past there, imagine BTC going back down to 9,000. How much would you load? Would you go all in at that point? I do believe that cryptocurrency is going to be the big currency of the future. They're going to be able to transfer that through across the planets and the stars and stuff like that when we move to space. So they're not wrong about the crypto age coming in. They need to add quantum resistances to their blockchains for sure. But let's see some of the recent news has been coming in today. Look at this. Bitcoin is Jack Miller, CEO of Strike, says Bitcoin is going to $200 trillion. The Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, calls Bitcoin a digital gold. Minister says other countries will buy Bitcoin soon, and we are still very early. I do agree that it is still extremely early. Billionaire and Pantera Capital CEO said live on CNBC that Bitcoin is going to 754,000. You can see the massive expectations they have. Bitcoin is about to explode like a rocket ship in the next 35 days. We see so much stuff going on, and Donald Trump Jr. says his family is all in on Bitcoin and crypto because they were debanked. You have them pushing the overall crypto agenda. This does come down to the big one world and or slash alien agenda that they don't want us speaking too much of. So I won't speak too much of that. If you want to know more about the details on the overall one world order, then make sure that you are along in your bankability investing platform. We get all news, all updates, everything that's going on with the new and upcoming one world order and or overall alien agenda. So some deep things that you need to know. Also, we have like a mass brainwashing that's going on in the education system, as they're looking to change us from they don't want us to be thinkers. Everybody's a thinker and a creator now. Everybody go off and make a TikTok or a YouTube and start getting their own passive money and passive businesses and stuff like that. They don't want this. They don't want us to be thinkers. They want us to be workers, okay? Watch what they teaching the kids inside of the education system. It's a lot going on, a lot of stuff I'll talk about. They already done demonetized my channel before for talking too deep on these topics and sharing the news and stuff like that. So we won't get too deep on there. But imagine this. BTC going from what it is right now, 126,000 up to 750,000. It's going to be one hell of a time. Keep up with the latest news that's going on cryptocurrency. Like I say, this is still just the beginning. Whether you are, I don't know how you're doing it, whether you are getting it on your Coinbase and you look, it's two different ways you do this. You either got your Coinbase and your Kraken or whatever it is, and you just regularly buying and then you regularly investing, just straight up regularly investing, or you're doing your leverage trades. This is how my percents come out to, and big whales get they thousands on thousands of percents with leverage trading. I'll show you how to do the difference between them and all the good stuff like that later on down the line when you get a little bit more advanced. Don't want to overwhelm you with too much. Catch those bankability lessons in time. Let's see what they've been talking about the different ETFs. ETF, okay? And look, we got some major stuff going on right here. What's this? So, finally, of course, these are some of your different banking with Billy alerts and stuff like that. Make sure you see those in time. So, finally, for what section is this in? This is in the crypto leverage section. Interesting. Interesting. That's down here towards the where that's at. Somewhere down here. Crypto leverage section, nonetheless. So finally figured out today why BTC is bouncing from any order block and why we see selling from institutes. So on 15 January 2026, the index provider MCSI plans to remove MicroStrategy and similar coin treasury companies from its big stock indexes. What? Because it no longer wants to treat them as normal operating businesses. These companies hold so much Bitcoin on their balance sheet that MSCI now views them more like funds similar to Bitcoin ETF than regular companies. Most major equity indexes like MSCIs and the S&P 500 are designed to include only operating companies and exclude funds. So once these names are reclassified as funds, they no longer belong to the indexes. If that happens, every ETF and index fund that tracks those indexes will be forced to sell their MicroStrategy shares and similar stocks. Because those shares will no longer be in the index, they are required to mirror. That can add up to billions of dollars of automatic selling, putting strong downward pressure on the share price. On top of that, traders will often sell in advance, trying to front run the forced selling, which increases the pressure even before January 15th, unless the rule is changed. We need a policy reversal. The market will keep expecting this big wave of selling. So MicroStrategy and similar companies will likely stay under heavy selling pressure, and the company may even face pressure to sell some of its Bitcoin or restructure so it looks like a fund and can stay in the indexes. Wow. What major news as we now have seen. This is news that came out at 2:37 a.m. in your bank with Billy out with Bitcoin ETFs seeing nearly $1.2 billion in weekly outflows, marking the third largest withdrawal event ever since launch. That's crazy, bro. Look at this. Look at this. BlackRock's IBIT shares shatter records again. ETS volume surging 11.5 billion. They have a lot of stuff going on with these cryptocurrencies, man. And wow, January 15th is the day, is it? I'm excited to see because, like I said, we in Bank with Billy, we already up 1,000%. So you caught all the current crypto shorts that we're holding in for a longer plays, not to mention just the regular different stocks in between. You're making thousands of percents every single week, and I'm so excited because I would love to see where this go. I love to see Bitcoin. Look at this. Yeah, bro, I'm trying to see it crash, bro. I'm trying to see it crash. Now, let's say I don't believe in a Bitcoin or whatever, don't believe in a crypto, but man, I'm up 3,000%. I'm trying to see this crash down. I'm trying to be up another 6,000%. I'll show y'all some TRX here. And one thing to remember is that when it comes down to like all these different, let me show you here. Let me show you all these different um ETFs. They're like options, man. If you're newer to the market, you don't even know how to trade options. So I'll explain. I'm gonna have to just go and show you one. Like, let's go to SPY real quick. You got options. They have these different expiration dates, right? So once they hit whatever you get your expiration date for, some people get them longer out. Some people get the closest one in. Some people want to do it as the day trade, so they get the same day in or 0DTE. You will hear them say if you are newer to this. It's the same thing for the ETFs. Let me show you. All those different ETFs and whatnot, they're gonna have their expiration dates. So no matter what, they're gonna end up expiring, which automatically causes those wave of selling pressure. I'm showing you this in such great detail because it's not about the stocks anymore. It's not about if your S&P 500s and just the Dow Jones are doing good anymore. No, it's about these ETFs and their weight and control of the overall market. If you haven't noticed by now, whatever Bitcoin is getting ready to do, that's what everything else is going to follow along and keep up with the natural flow on how the markets move, man. So you can be able to literally, you just riding the wave from overbought down to oversold. From oversold back up to overbought. You just riding the wave on whatever your specific chart trading time frame is. And I'm going to show you more examples of that in greater detail, utilizing some of the biggest top gainer stocks for the last week. We are coming into a new week now. Congratulations to everybody who has been successfully succeeding, following along in all of your different various banking with Billy alerts. Seeing those in time pushes you up hundreds of percents, which I'm going to show you more greater details and examples of here for these top 3 or 4. These are the top gainers for the last 5 days. Okay. I know these are not just some random ones that I done picked out, my favorite ones. No, we're talking about the actual top gainers for the actual last 5 days, okay? And some of these should be familiar to you. If you've been already in the market and whatnot, you're no stranger to any of these. So you got WSHP, which has gone to a miraculous from $20 to $252 on WSHP. Those of you who do not know what the WSHP stock is, this is limited. We Shop Holding Limited is a shoppable social network offering shoppers a loyalty program where they are given the ability to earn We points every time they make a purchase or refer a new user that earns We points. We will check out the We Shop. Now, I guess that's not going to work. Let me see. We Shop. Here we go. We Shop AI. Everything is all AI, all the good stuff like that these days. You ain't ever, if you look, when you're looking at your company or whatever it is, you gotta see what they are. You gotta see where they at. You have to open up their site. You can get a better idea of what they have going on, and so on and so forth. We'll do a deeper dive into their. I'm looking at products. Where they products at? That's interesting. We'll come back and look at that. I was actually expecting to see a regular store, not the We Shop AI. How much is this? Plans and pricing. This is interesting. Credit exclusive AI models, free API trial, AI autofill for text description, priority customer support. This is very interesting here. We're gonna have to look a lot deeper into We Shop, into We Shop. But nonetheless, this right here did just explode when it came out. About on a 14th? They launched the IPO going from $20 up to $2.52. Okay, coming back out around the 17th. Check this out. You go over to yo Moo investing platform, and then you'll be able to see greater in detail. I like her on the side. They got the specific ranges of their stock. Look at this, going from that initial rise of that $20 up to $250. That's an overall, literally a 1,100% explosion on WSHP stock. Our first alerts going out for WSHP stock would come out in the pre-market on the 17th at 5:09 a.m. On the 17th at 5:09 a.m. I could take you deeper into a 15-minute trading chart time frame. Like I said, you see those in the pre-market. From that explosion there, from the 17th in the pre-market, this exploded 252%. That is still an overall about 500% explosion, a 500 turnaround from that first alert. Can show you a greater in a detail here on Moo. The overall range. What you do is you line this up to your specific date, right? The pre-market. And then you can see the overall range there on the side. It's actually about a 600% explosion from the bottom. But nonetheless, a decent about 500% gain. You would have most likely still locked in about 500% if you had a stop loss in there and then a pull back from, what's that, about 250 something. You probably would have sold out with your stop loss around $200, like naturally, as a stop loss being around that range. So that's a decent gain right there. WeShop is about to start to crash back down. I'm gonna show you why I say this. So you know, like, oh, he's just saying this for no reason. I'm gonna show you why. You can literally see it's overbought and getting ready to make his next big round of bearish divergence. Cause they're gonna get shorts. Like, you make money going both ways. Look, you got your, okay, this ain't got options. But if it did have options, then it'll already be way further down. Because they would have got massive puts pushing this down. Most people won't notice this because it's a low stock. Like, you got like 16,000 on the volume. On average, you only got 116,000. You know, those low stocks are under the radar. Most people won't notice them too easy, but that's a very good one. After a massive crash, you can be expecting another pullback, and I'm telling you, it's going to be a massive crash coming in as the overall markets are already in the last trading day coming in for a turn of bullishness. They're going to get a turn of bearishness. In fact, bro, I don't say this stuff for nothing. Check this out. Check this out. In fact, so you can see what I'm typing in and what I got going on. Check this out. I do not say this stuff for nothing. I'm going to just type in fear. Check this out. Well, check this out. I was just seeing this just on Friday. The fear greed index is 7 out of 100. Bro, you've never, ever seen it get that low. Ever at all. Like we see, look at this. And then you'll be able to see as they were getting more and more bearish from 14 down to that 7. Look at this. Back when they were the fear greed index is only on 18 out of 100. You know, we can climb higher and higher. Look, was on 15 out of 100. Like, for the last like almost month, the fear greed index has been getting extremely wrecked. And to go down to 7, 9s and stuff like that, bro, it's crazy what's going on. Check out some of when you in bankability, check out some of the recent go to your BWB News TV section or your BWB Crypto News section, and then you'll be able to see, excuse me, what they are talking about up there. What they have going on up there. And if you ever see Powell up there talking about something, bro, what he's gonna say will affect things. You want to see those clips in time. In your Banking with Billy investing platform, we get the news first. We get it before the CNBCs, before the Bloombergs. We'll be in here listening to our live Bloomberg and CNBC radios while reading the news during our trades, and then you'll see Bloomberg and CNBC or whatever come in about 20, 30 minutes. Now, speaking of the latest news update that had already hit the section, make sure that you are seeing it first so you can make your move on time. I can't stress that enough. Most people wonder, when to get in or when to get out, but how do you know bullish or bearish? Well, it's about riding the wave and keeping up with the sentiment, depending on how and where you're getting your news. Let me show you something. You got most people go to the Googles and stuff like that, right? And then you got to scroll down all of this. And you're trying to figure out how to put this in order. Well, surely, if this is at the top, it must be the newest thing. But that came out 10 hours ago. You know how much news comes out in a span of over 10 hours? You're already late. The beauty of in your bankability investing app, these news goes to your phone as notifications. You get it all in order. That makes a massive difference when you're live in a trade. And instead of having to go to the Googles or the sites, whatever, trying to piece it in order, but that thing that came out 5 hours ago, you're every which way. You want to make sure that where you're getting it from is in order. Like, even if you take to the Reddit, everybody loves to take to the Reddit, right? And then you're gonna go ahead and open up one of your different Reddit groups, and then you're trying to read through the news that they got going on. Bro, you can't even make sense of it because everything is all every which way. Let's say you was trying to follow along and how they be talking about the Wall Street bets in them, right? Bro, they got so much randomness going on. Now, I'm not gonna say people don't know how to trade, but bro, I lost 700,000. What do I do? These are the people that y'all follow along in. telling you to get in things and telling you to so on and so forth when the market's getting ready to crash. In fact, for the last whole month, ever since, watch this, bro. I do not say this stuff for nothing. For the last whole month, ever since BTC has been crashing down, right? You have had all the big whales and all the big whales and politicians, all the big Trumps and Trump families, all the influencers and video creators, all the Wall Street bettors and Reddits and stuff like that, right? You have had all of them continuously telling you to buy this and buy that and hold this and hold. They say, don't ever let it go. They told you. And now you going back to see all those people you were listening to that kept on continuously telling you to do that? Bro, have you holding in every single stock that's down on massive crashes? Things are now hitting they 52-week declines. Don't be listening to those people, bro. I'm telling you, all you ride the wave. They will mess you up because for them, it's all about making sure that they positions get filled. They need you to hold that so theirs can go up. They need you to lose so they can win. There's two sides. The losers have to lose so the winners can win. If the winners lose, then those losers are now the winners. Understand the manipulation that they put y'all through, man. It's put two and two together, especially when you've been trading for so long. You've been in the markets for 5+ years. Nothing can fool you at that point, right? So I know most of you already know these things. I'm really trying to put new traders on games so they don't get caught by those manipulations and stuff like that, man. Another one of the hottest stocks on the market on the 17th, no less, is OLMA stock. You don't see this stock come around too often, but this stock has in the past had some decent times. In fact, let's go back down to an overall monthly chart. Some decent times, like those some decent waves they've come in, from $2 up to the highs of $17. They done broke past that to notice how they stop in here at this big resistance point of $26, man. That overall reversal on yo OLMA stock from the very beginning in those early morning pre-market alerts going out there on a Tuesday would now be up about 365%. Very good. Like I see, you see those early in the morning. That's up at 5 a.m. You're not even up early enough for when Bank with Billy putting out its alerts. You gotta be on time. You want to make sure you are having your stop loss. See us tell you when to buy, when to sell. You say you don't like the Bank with Billy alerts. You say you just got something against Billy Banks, whatever your reasoning is. There are many different coaches inside of your Bank with Billy investment platform putting out their trades, putting out their alerts. No, I'm not the only one getting 100,000%. Everybody in Banking with Billy, all 30,000 members, are well trained to get hundreds and hundreds of percents. The coaches are well trained and well versed and getting hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of percents. It's easy money when you know what you are going for. So again, you say you don't like the Banking with Billy video. You just got something against Billy Banks, whatever it is. Well, you have multiple coaches inside of your Banking with Billy investing platform, and new coaches I am bringing up every single week to give new traders, new investors, new coaches time and chances to show their skills to improve. I hold the hands along the whole way. Ali, if you are seeing us, those are some very hot alerts in your section right there. I love to see those fireballs building. No, that's fire for sure. Hey, like I say, it's all coming down to if you are seeing this from your overall Matan. Also, if you don't know, Schmape does have a. I'll be putting up my stuff in Schmape little Discord over there as well. His is a little bit newer. They do as well. Schmape has his section. Matan Sulan has his section along in Banking with Billy investing platform as well. So we'll be seeing him put his newest alerts. We just remade his section. We'll be seeing him get some of those out in there. It's so many different things that you can be going for inside of your Bank with Billy investment platform. So once again, you say you just don't like the Billy Bank. You say for whatever reason Billy Banks ain't your go to. Well, if you would have caught Nisha's plays, well, you're talking about thousands of percents, even more percents what I'm talking about from his start. Like I said, depending on who you follow along and how you get your news, it makes a massive difference. I'm very impressed to see that this one is still holding up. I would have thought that this one would have had sold all the way back off, like for sure, for sure. OLMA is a clinical stage biopharmaceutical company focused on transforming the standard of care and improving outcomes for patients living with breast cancer and beyond. You must go ahead and take a quick peek at their site. Let me getting all these cookies, man. When you see all these cookies, man, press reject all. They just stealing data and shit and stuff like that. Pipeline. You got to go to pipeline. You can click all the other sections, but the one that matters is the pipeline, man. Because on a pipeline, then you can be able to see what they got working on and what's moving into the next phase. So you know what your catalyst is. It's all about a catalyst, man, right? You want to be able to, they got that up and coming later on. We know that that's going to be good. Anything in collaboration with Pfizer is your go-to. Pfizer or CRISPR for sure, for sure. Very good, very impressive. The health stocks can be quite questionable, if you will. They don't want me talking about all that deep stuff, man. They gonna cancel my show again if I talk about that. PACS. Ooh, PACS stock, the PACS group. I do not recall if I've ever even seen this stock before, but wow, what a reversal coming into PACS. That's a clean one right there. You can clearly see the bullish divergence coming in. Let me explain. So, overbought. Look, I'm showing you the RSI and the MACD down here, man. Overbought, back down to oversold, and it's gonna take some time. What you're looking for is for your MACD, for the histograms. That's what the red bars and the green bars are called, the histograms. You want to see it come in for its for the beginning of its reversal. You want to see those solid red shades turn into those solid red bars turn into those shaded red bars. That's the beginning, the incoming wave of the bullish divergence. You want to be in there and ride that before that first little green dot come in. And then if you ride that correctly, bro, you literally depending on it comes down to your time frame, because you're gonna do it all exactly the same on every different time frame. It's just gonna be a little bit longer on different time frames. And like if you getting in on your weekly chart, bro, you can't be going down to your 15-minute chart. Okay, I got in on a daily chart, or I got in on a weekly chart or whatever. It's looking like that, and I'm finna go down and see what it's looking like on the 15-minute chart now. Well, it's already overbought on the 15-minute chart. Literally, you got in on a weekly, and the weekly still say you got time to run it up, right? In this case, it's overbought on the weekly, but the weekly still say you got time to, get back overbought. But then you hone in down to a 15-minute chart. Of course, it's already going to be overbought. Of course, it's going to make you start to see selling pressure, because those people who got in on a 15-minute chart trading time frame, they already getting ready to get up out of there. You got to make sure you stick in your charts and understand how to hone in and hone out, which I have made many lesson videos. Check those out. I'll make some more later on down the line. But PACS, PACS Group. This is a holdings company investing in post-acute healthcare facilities, professionals, and ancillary services. The company is focused on delivering skilled nursing care through a portfolio of independently operated facilities. It also provides its independently operated facilities with comprehensive suite of technology support and back office services. You must take a quick peek at their site. See what they got going on. You don't got to be a master website stock analyst or anything like that to just take a quick peek at what they got going on.
If you do a traditional nursing home, you'll identify pretty quickly that it has not aged well.
Facilities get worn down.
They're not staffed well enough. You won't get adequate care.
It's like the Middle Ages.
Hardly any investment in technology.
Oh my gosh.
These are places where you'd never want to work at, you'd never want to be a patient at, and if you're a family member, you'd never want to place your loved one there.
There's a better way. There's a better way to operate nursing homes.
People want to send their loved ones to the place that has the best reputation.
Hey, what the heck is PACS?
PACS is doing healthcare in a new way.
I thought, oh God, this could be another hospital. Much to my surprise, it was totally different.
We take these underperforming, mismanaged facilities, and we breathe new life into them.
PACS comes in and infuses new energy, new support systems, new technology to make the staff's and residents' lives better.
Physical, occupational, speech therapy services, skilled nursing.
All right. I got the gist of it. I got the gist of it. So what they coming in, what they doing is they going into the broken down, wear out hospitals, nursing centers, healthcare facilities, and they turning them into they're taking them from a F grade to a grade A facility, with new staff, new equipment, cleanliness, all that good stuff like that. Y'all get the gist of it. And PACS doing such a great job at what they do has had PACS in this most recent trend go from $10 up to about that $28.90. If you caught your PACS stock from those very first alerts, let me show you when those very first alerts were going out for this most recent run. This was back on 8:33 a.m. there on November 17th. Yo, Banking with Billy investing alerts always come with your time and date stamps there, so you are never out the loop when it's time for you to go back and find something. When it's, oh man, well, Billy, I seen that you say that you say, yo, the PACS exploded 170% from the first alert, but well, where do I find the first alert and how do I see the date? You will always be able to go back and see your stuff there and see your date and timestamp for your verification. And I encourage you to challenge me to the tough questions. I encourage you to find something that ain't legit on Banking with Billy or with Billy Banks and call me out for it. I encourage it. I encourage the challenge. Going from $10 to $28, bro. You done caught yourself for overall, I don't know, what was that? It was like 200%. That's 180%. That's about 170% from that first alert. I'm going to show you back on the 17th when this thing would get the explode. And remember, we were talking about that in the pre-market. Notice how this is opening up before the market open. That's what they call the pre-market, bro. You go from $10 up there and get this. Your PACS is still not showing any signs of slowing down and calls are still strong. Last one we got is MNDR. Okay. You probably know MNDR. Like, I'm gonna show you back on the weekly chart. MNDR has had some wild times in its past, man. Still in compliance at this $4.40 something cents. They got lucky. They jumped from that $1.53 up to the highs of that $6 off of a sell-off. They were far too excited to buy this up, which made it surge once again. If you caught your MNDR from those very first alerts, you say that you say, where was those first alerts coming out at and when, you ask? Well, if you go back down to find your MNDR, look, match that up with your dates and timestamps on November 17th at 3:34 p.m., where this is only ripping up about 19% at that time, right? This was still down towards about $1.60. From that, where this going? What's that? What's that, like a 400% explosion, something like that? From that, you caught MNDR for overall 302% explosion from those very first alerts. I don't say this stuff for nothing. Let me go back and show you some dates and timestamps. Match that alert up back with your chart on the date and timestamp. In fact, go down to a smaller chart trading time frame, and you can hone in on that move and that position exactly if you were in on MNDR and the rest of these. 300. We'll just call that 200. That's 500. We'll call that 400. I'm gonna round these up. That's like 600% or something like that, right? Let me see. 5, that's 6. Okay, that's 500. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Bro, with that overall about 1,500%. On top of the extra 1,000% you up on TRX now. Okay. That's what, 2,500 on top of the extra 2,000 you up on ETH now. That's what, about 4,000 on top of the 3,000. So in the last week alone, your portfolio, stocks and cryptos, however you manage it, you've made almost about what, 10,000%? Something like that. I'm rounding up numbers, man. Now, I mean, don't quote me on those numbers exactly. You know, I mean, I'm doing fast math, but nonetheless, that's not even including the rest. I'm not even counting the rest of the alerts, the rest of the trades, the rest of your coaches and them putting out their things, the rest of so on and so on. I'm not even counting all of their moves and all of their plays. I'm only just counting mine for the last week. And I'm not even counting all of mine for the last week. That's not to mention if you were even catching out on your different sports betting alerts as well. It never stops in Banking with Billy. It's easy money. We know what you're going for. It's the same setup and the same strategy every single trade. I do know what stocks are about to explode next. We are already putting out the alerts for the next set of swing trades along in the Discord. Make sure you are in there to see that on time. Banking with Billy is not free. Upgrade your $10 monthly membership to be able to see us tell you when to buy, when to sell. I'll see you guys in there. Happy trading.